Welcome to the class. In today's class we will see some more examples, but the examples what we have seen in last class were related with ideal Brayton cycle, where we had most of the times considered that the compressor and turbine have highest, which is 100% efficiency, and then we solved the examples accordingly. Now we are going to see the new example. That in the first example it is said that there is a gas turbine which has minimum and maximum temperature as 50 degrees Celsius and 950 degrees Celsius. Compressor and turbine efficiencies are 82% and 87% respectively, and we are supposed to find out maximum net work, condition, then net work and thermal efficiency. So, the things which are given to us are Tmin, which we are actually having given conditions, and in that we are having Tmin which is 50 degrees Celsius. So, we have it as 50 plus 273 as Kelvin. Then Tmax we are told as 950 degrees Celsius. So, it is 950 plus 273 Kelvin. So, we are given with this. Then along with that we are given with isentropic efficiency of compressor is 0.82 and isentropic efficiency of turbine is 0.87. So, this example is based on the derivation which we did for the network to be maximum condition. So, in that we had derived that Rp raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma is equal to eta t, eta c into beta. Here beta is equal to T max upon T min. So, we know that beta is the ratio of maximum and minimum temperature, but in this example maximum and minimum temperatures are given to us. So, practically in this example beta is also given to us, T max upon T min. So, this is known to us. So, beta is known, eta t is known, eta c is known. So, we can find out Rp. Basically this Rp is Rp optimum. So, we know that what is the condition for maximum net work output. So, this Rp gives us the condition for maximum net work output. So, condition is known to us. Now, what we can do is we can draw the TS diagram. In this TS diagram, this is isentropic 1, 2, 3, this is ideal cycle, and then this is 2 dash and 2, and this is 4 dash and 4. So, now we know everything at T1, we know only pressure at T2, we know temperature as T3, and we do not know temperature at 4. So, we can use the formulas what we used and what we derived for getting the properties at all the corners. So, in this case we know now pressure ratio. So, pressure ratio means we know P2 by P1, and that is our Rp, and in this case it is optimum. So, Rp optimum is known to us. So, we can take initial condition as 1 bar, we will assume that, then we know P2. In that case, once we know P1 we know P2 since we know Rp. Knowing this we can find out T2 by T1, and that is equal to Rp bracket raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma. So, we know Rp which is Rp optimum, we know T1 which is minimum temperature. Basically from the cycle this is T1 and from the cycle this is T3. So, we know now T2, from this formula we know T2. So, now we know T2, we know P2. Once T2 and P2 are known, anyway we know T3. So, then we can find out but then there is a problem. This is T2 dash is what we know, but we do not know T2. So, for using we have to use formula for the compressor efficiency. We know compressor efficiency formula is ideal work T2 dash minus T1 divided by T2 minus T1. So, in this formula from the isentropic relation, T2 dash is known to us, T1 is known to us already, T1 is also known to us here, compressor efficiency is given, then this using the isentropic efficiency formula we can find out T2. So, one point to be remembered here, that isentropic formula are only usable for the ideal temperature at the exit of the condition, but then we will use compressor efficiency formula to get actual temperature at the exit of the compressor. So, then we know T2, previously from isentropic we know T2 dash, we know T3. So, then basically we can know what is the work of the compressor. WC is Cp into T2 minus T1. We know air specific heat of air is 1.005 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. So, knowing this we know the net compressor work. Having the compressor work known, then we can find out turbine work, but for turbine work we should know T4. So, to know T4, basically first what we have to do is we know Rp. Once we know Rp, we know T3 by T4 dash is equal to Rp raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma. So, since T3 is known, then we can find out from this formula T4 dash. Once T4 dash is known, then we can use the formula for turbine efficiency, and turbine efficiency is actual work T3 minus T4 divided by ideal work, which is T3 minus T4 dash. So, in this formula T4 dash is known, T3 is known, turbine efficiency is given, then we can find out T4. Thus, T4, which is actual temperature, is found out from the turbine efficiency formula, and in case of isentropic we found out ideal temperature at the exit of the turbine. So, thus we can now find out the turbine work. So, Wt is equal to Cp into T3 minus T4. So, here again we are using or assuming that air is the gas which is present in the turbine. So, 1.005 into T3 minus T4. So, we got turbine work. Then we know W net, which is turbine work minus compressor work. So, this is how we can find out turbine work minus compressor work, which is net work. Then it is told us to find out the thermal efficiency. So, thermal efficiency of the plant is also simple to evaluate, since we know thermal efficiency is W net upon Q in, but the problem is we do not know Q in. So, Q in is equal to Cp into T3 minus T2. So, it is not T2 dash. You can see this is the process of heat addition. Heat is getting added from 2 to 3. So, heat is getting added from 2 to 3. So, T3 is known, T2 is known, Cp is known. So, we know Q in. So, knowing the Q in, we can find out thermal efficiency. So, this is how we would have solved the problem, and this problem is a special problem, since this problem deals with optimum network condition, and this formula we have derived. There would be one more thing which some people would ask in the example, and then that is work ratio. So, work ratio, we have seen that work ratio is W net upon Wt, which is turbine work. So, turbine work is found out, W net is found out. So, we can find out work ratio, and we had seen long back in one of the classes what is the usefulness of work ratio. We know that work ratio has to be closer to 1. Higher the work ratio, it is good. The plant is insensitive to the or less sensitive to the component efficiencies. We have seen that. So, this is done for this example. So, for next example, we will see that in this example it is told that there is a heat exchanger based gas turbine power plant, and it has minimum and maximum temperature as 300 Kelvin and 1300 Kelvin. So, what is given to us in this example is, we are told that there is heat exchanger, it is told to us, and then it is told to us that T min, so for us it is equal to T1 is equal to 300 Kelvin. We know that T max is equal to T3 is equal to 1300 Kelvin. Then pressure ratio is 10. Then it is also told that Rp is equal to 10. Mass flow rate is also 10 kg per second. We are told that mass flow rate, which is m dot, is 10 kg per second. Now, we are given that thermal efficiency of compressor is 0.82 and isentropic efficiency of compressor is 0.82 and isentropic efficiency of turbine is 0.85. But there is one more thing extra given, that thermal ratio is 0.8. Thermal ratio, I will denote it as capital T for heat exchanger, and that is told as 0.8. So, this is new example for us, where now we are having 3 components, which is a compressor, which is a turbine, and which is a heat exchanger, and both are, or rather all are non-ideal. So, let us draw first TS diagram. So, in this TS diagram, what we have is first 1 to 2 dash, 2 dash to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 3 to 4 is real process, 3 to 4 dash is ideal process. Then we have 5 here, and then we have 6 here. So, these points correspond to the heat exchanger process. We know that 2 to 5 is the heat addition in the heat exchanger before going to the combustion chamber. So, this is heat exchanger, this is combustion chamber. So, 5 to 3 is only heat added in the combustion chamber. Now, we are supposed to derive or find out the net work and thermal efficiency. So, for that all sake, let us try solving this example. What is known to us is T1. What is given to us is Rp. Again, knowing the Rp, knowing the T1, we know that we can find out T2 dash. This is what we have seen from the isentropic relation. Rp raised to gamma minus 1 upon gamma is equal to T2 dash upon T1. So, T1 is known, Rp is known, gamma we are going to take it for air, which is 1.4 for the sake of simplicity, since it is again not told to us. So, simplest assumption is for air. So, we know T2 dash, but now using the T2 dash and T1, we can use further compressor efficiency formula and find out T2. We know that compressor efficiency is ideal network input, ideal work requirement divided by actual work requirement. So, ideal work requirement is T2 dash minus T1 and actual work requirement is proportional with T2 minus T1. So, this will give us T2. Then we can parallelly do it for the turbine. So, we know Rp for the turbine, we know T3 which is maximum temperature of the cycle, and then from that using the isentropic relation we can find out T4 dash. So, T4 dash is known to us now from isentropic relation. Then we can use turbine work formula to find out T4. Again turbine work, turbine efficiency, which is isentropic efficiency, is equal to actual turbine work divided by maximum turbine work. Actual turbine work is T3 minus T4, maximum turbine work is T3 minus T4 dash. Only T4 is unknown, so we can find out. Now in this example there is a new thing which is told to us, which is turbine thermal ratio of the heat exchanger is 0.8. So this is what it is told to us, thermal ratio of the heat exchanger. So we know that when we derived the formula we had taken it as 1, and based upon that we derived some formulas. What is this? This is actual heat transfer divided by maximum possible heat transfer. What is actual heat transfer? Actual heat transfer is basically, it is a constant pressure heat addition in the heat exchanger. So Cp into T5 minus T2 divided by, what is maximum possible heat transfer? It is Cp into T4 minus T2. Cp into T4 minus T2. So this is actual heat transfer. This is maximum heat transfer. We have seen if we would have ideal turbine and compressor, then we should have T5 is equal to T4, and then we should have T6 is equal to T2. This is what in ideal case we had seen. So thermal coefficient of heat exchanger being 0.8, so we have T5 minus T2 divided by T4 minus T2. So in this formula 4 is known to us, 2 is known to us, so this formula would give us T5. So we know now everything at 1, everything at 2, everything at 5, everything at 3 and everything at 4. So we now know all the properties at all the corners which are for the cycle. So this example is basically telling us why it is important to write or draw the power plant cycle, thermodynamic cycle before solving the example. So by first drawing the cycle and then proceeding with the example would help us in knowing what properties are known to us at all the corners. So this should be explicit. Then we can start finding out work. We know that compressor work is Cp into T5 T2 minus T1. This is known to us, or some people can use the formula which is Cp into T2 dash minus T1, but in that case they have to divide this by compressor efficiency. Then we know T2, we know T1, we know Cp, we found out Cp, we found out Wc, which is compressor work. Then we can find out turbine work, which is Cp into T3 minus T4. Here as well T3 is known, T4 is known, Cp is known, we found out turbine work. So we know that W net is equal to turbine work minus compressor work. So we eventually found out net work. Then now we have to find out the efficiency of the power plant. So for that we know efficiency of the power plant is W net divided by Q in. So since we do not know Q in, we can find out Q in as Cp into T3 minus T5. So we should know T5. So T5 is known to us from the heat exchanger formula. So we know T5, we know T3, we know Cp, so we know Q in. So putting the Q in, we know efficiency of the thermal power plant. Basically without or with heat exchanger we know that network would not have got altered. What has got altered is Q in. So since Q in has decreased, efficiency would increase. So this is how we have to solve the examples which are there with the components being non-ideal. So every component would have certain efficiency associated with. So in case of the heat exchanger, it will be called as thermal ratio, some people would call it as effectiveness of the heat exchanger. Then these numbers will be associated with actual divided by maximum possible heat transfer rate. So, then in case of the thermal power plant or gas turbine based power plant with heat exchanger plus intercooler plus reheater, we obviously would have efficiencies of multiple compressors which might be different, multiple turbines which might be again different. So, such example would lead to additional complexity, since we have 2 turbines with 2 efficiencies and we have 2 compressors with 2 efficiencies, but if problems are simple from the perspective that we now have established the procedure how to solve the example. So, we have to first, what we have to do is how to solve the example. In this case, first draw the cycle and then mark what are the known things. Then in this case, we have to first use isentropic relations to find out the properties of the ideal cycle corners. So, ideal cycle has corners 2 dash, 4 dash, 3, 4. So, those corners properties we can find out from isentropic relation, and then we have to use component efficiencies to find out the temperatures at the actual corners. Actual corners are 2, 4, 5, 6. So, these are actual corners. So, we have to first find out isentropic relation, then go for actual efficiencies which are component efficiencies, and then find out corner properties, and then find out performance parameters. So, these performance parameters are for the cycle. So, first performance parameter will be thermal efficiency of the cycle, and then there will be W net of the cycle, then there will be work ratio of the cycle. Okay. So, these properties we can find out. So, having said this ends today's class, where we have understood how to solve the examples for the gas turbine based power plant if there are non-ideal components. Thank you.